enough people talk about Victor Lustig, the greatest con man to ever live. Born in 1890 and speaking several languages, Victor started out by scamming wealthy businessmen on ocean liners by selling them a money box. It was an old steamer trunk that he claimed could duplicate money. The target would put a single $100 bill in a blank piece of paper, and 6 hours later, after some chemical processing, out would pop 2 legit bills. Of course, the box was preloaded with the money, and the 6-hour waiting period was entirely made up by Victor to give time to escape before people realized that it didn't actually work. And people actually fell for it, sometimes bidding against each other because there was only one of them, and Victor ended up getting $10,000 for a random old box one time. He also once scammed legendary mobster Al Capone by telling him to invest $50,000 into his next scheme, but he actually hid the money in a lockbox for 2 months. He ended up returning all of the money back to Capone, saying that the scheme failed and he was now struggling financially. Capone, because he was such a nice guy, then gave him $5,000 for being an honest man and to help tide him over. But really, that was the scam the entire time. But his craziest scheme of all was when he sold the Eiffel Tower. Back in 1925, there was constant news about the high maintenance cost and repairs for the tower, and lots of citizens wanted it demolished. Victor sent letters to a bunch of scrap metal dealers on fake government stationery and posed as a government employee looking to sell the Eiffel Tower for scrap metal, but needed to do it discreetly to avoid public outcry. He rented limousines and gave tours to a bunch of different dealers until he found someone stupid enough, and along came businessman André Poussin, who bought the tower for 70,000 francs. And Victor fled to Austria before André even realized it was a scam. But André never reported it to the police because he was so embarrassed by getting scammed. So when Victor saw zero news about it, he flew back to Paris a year later and tried it again until getting caught and forcing him to flee to the United States. He went on to launch a very successful counterfeit money operation for 5 years until his mistress called the feds on him after finding out that he was cheating on her with a younger woman. The day before his trial, he escaped from prison by using a bedsheet rope and pretending to be a window washer while he scaled down the building. And apparently a bunch of people saw him but didn't think it was sketchy at all. He ended up getting caught a month later and sentenced to 15 years in Alcatraz and eventually died from pneumonia, with his death certificate listing his occupation as apprentice salesman and counterfeiter.